Father Iliad has some parting words for you and the others. What a curious twist of fate that Master Sid Garland would at last be found within our church. It defies imagination. Did they never take off his goggles and realize that he's Garlean? They're like really surprised, but he has the Garlean third eye. Did they just leave the goggles on at all times? I mean, he was wearing a cloak with the goggles, so maybe. Beg your pardon, viewers. You wish to find his airship, yes? I know not how much truth there is to it, but there is a tale known as the final flight of the Enterprise, which grew popular in the wake of the Calamity. Much like the Great Gyobu Wall of Ul'dah, it states that the Enterprise flew northwest from Gridania towards Coerthas. Now, this is actually interesting. The Great Gyobu Wall of Ul'dah was actually something that was done in 1.0. They had major events and tragedies, I suppose, going on in the world for like the closing of 1.0. And at one point, they got a serious number of the players lined up in front of Ul'dah. So that's actually a reference to player action in the game, which is kind of neat. If true, the airship would have passed through North Shroud, likely over Falgord Float, the closest settlement to Coerthas. Mayhap the Serpents stationed there have records of the events that transpired that day. I had hoped you might rest from your journeys from for a time, but I see that the world still has need of you in the Scions. Pray look after yourself, and Sid, viewers. Alright. Is there aught I can assist you with, sir? The Enterprise. You speak of Master Garland's ship, yes? Aye, I needn't refer to the records. I know that the ship was sighted overhead 5 years ago, clearly bound for Coerthas. What became of it after that, I cannot say. If you wish to know more, speak with Vortifor at Florentild Spire. He was on duty that day and saw it with his own eyes. I'm unsure what it is you hope to accomplish, though. Even should you locate the ship, would you not need a man of Master Garland's caliber to fly it? I hear tell that the machinery is fiendishly complex. You have come in search of Vortifor. Then well met, for you have found him. Indeed, I have served as a whaler for many years, since before the Great Snows came to Coerthas. What exactly is this about? Ah, the final flight of the Enterprise. I do indeed remember that day. Now, that's another interesting note. Before the Great Snows of Coerthas, Coerthas used to actually be just a green highlands. But during the Calamity, it started perpetually snowing. It was a major impact on the weather. There are some really interesting pictures of Coerthas in 1.0. Kind of neat. Vortifor wishes to tell you of the final flight of the Enterprise. It was on the eve of the Battle of Carteneau, nigh on 5 years ago. I held the spire alone that night, while the bulk of our forces marched to meet the enemy in the field. Then, all of a sudden, the most fantastic airship I'd ever seen splits the sky overhead. I could only watch in shock as it disappeared over the mountains to the northwest. The Enterprise wasn't destroyed during the Calamity. I'd wager it's still somewhere in Coerthas. The astrologians at the observatorium may have records which could help, but to obtain them you would need to deal with the Ishgardians who control the region. I wouldn't expect much, though. The High Houses have long been concerned with their own affairs above all else. When Dolomud descended, they took shelter behind their gates, and even now they have little regard for the plight of other nations. Nevertheless, they may deign to assist you should you prove yourself useful. Consider providing your services to the soldiers who guard the observatorium. Though they may refuse you at first, I have little doubt they would accept aid freely offered. Excuse me, can you repeat that? You wish to offer your services to House of Durandar? And what, pray tell, do you wish to receive in exchange? How absurd, as if we would permit an outsider to peruse the records of the observatorium. Do not mistake our courtesy for friendliness. The Holy See of Ishgard may allow foreigners to travel freely within these lands, but we do not intend to offer succor to strangers. Yep. Sir Ludovois is doing his utmost to intimidate you into leaving. Hello and have mercy. Are you still there? You may take shelter within our walls if you insist, but do not distract me while I am on duty. We're stretched thin as it is. And where in the hells is that knight I sent out on patrol? He should have returned ages ago. Perhaps I have a use for you after all. If you wish to aid us, search the wilds to the west for my missing man. You will know him by his uniform, that of House Durandar, as is mine. At least they're not sending me after dragons, right? If it wasn't for you, sir, I reckon they would have finished me off. Despicable dragon-loving bastards. Death was a mercy they didn't deserve. I prayed the rumors were mistaken, but this confirms the worst. I must immediately inform my superiors that the heretics are operating within this region. Fare thee well, friend. Help. I must say, I didn't actually expect you to find my knight, much less rescue him. I see I may have been premature in my judgment, sir. We are a proud people beholden to tradition, but that does not mean we are without humility. I shall instruct the astrologians to entertain your requests. However, understand that it is ultimately their decision whether or not you may peruse their records. Pray proceed to the observatorium and introduce yourself to Edmel. Ah, the gentlemen come in search of the airship. This is highly unorthodox. Whatever could Sir Ludovic be thinking? It is true that we maintain meticulous records which stretch back generations. However, because this information is used to chart Dravanian activity, access is strictly controlled. One can never be too careful with heretics and their sympathizers lurking about. If you would persist with your inquiries, pray seek an audience with Chief Astrologian Forlamore above. Ah, we gotta climb the tower. That hat is ridiculous. Who's this handsome fellow? Interesting. No, absolutely not. Have you any inkling what it is you ask? Were our records to fall into the wrong hands, it could change course of a war which has raged for generations. I speak not of some mere spat between southern nations. Ours is a holy crusade, and we are the arbiters of Hallone's will. I will not put our great nation at risk, certainly not to help a foreigner locate a missing airship of all things. Pardon the intrusion, Forlamore. I wish to speak with you regarding the recent... Oh, I did not realize you had a guest. Inquisitor Guillaume, you honor us with your presence. The gentleman was just leaving. Ah, you must be the one who rescued House Durandar's knight from those heretics. Doubtless they feel indebted to you. I'm told you seek an airship last seen in Coerthas 5 years ago, yes? You come to us in an inconvenient time, I fear. Much has changed in the intervening years, and little for the better. While I wish you the best of luck in your search, I would also strongly advise caution. The snows can come quickly in Coerthas. One moment you may feel as though you have a firm grasp on your surroundings, safe and secure in your knowledge, and the next you may find yourself in a wholly unfamiliar situation, blind to the dangers hidden by the blizzard. It would be wise for you to focus on a single landmark whilst traveling. Do not give in to temptation and deviate from your course. I was not aware you aided House Durandar in this fashion. Thank you, sir. Nevertheless, my decision stands. I cannot give you what you seek. Who can? Lucy is attempting to attract your attention. You there, sir! I could not help but overhear your conversation with the chief astrologian. There may be a way I can assist you, but it would require that you could perform for me a favor in exchange. An associate of mine has yet to return from his expedition to the cliffs east of the observatorium. He was adamant he could conduct his observations alone, despite the presence of Ixal in that vicinity. If you would seek out this astrologian and confirm that he is well, it would be a great comfort to me. Alright, look at that. That's pretty neat, right? Tower in the distance. Lit by stars and moonlight. Oops. What does he need help with? Extra cold, cuddling for warmth? What a relief to see someone other than a goddamn birdman. I thought I could finish my work whilst the Ixal were away, but they returned far quicker than anticipated. It was all I could do to hide and hope they might leave again before I froze to... Wait, who are you? You are not one of our knights. A man of House Durandar cannot be seen in the company of an unbeliever. Good day, sir. Rude. Yep. The arrogant fool returned not long before you arrived, muttering about the disgrace of having been rescued by the unbeliever. Serves him right for underestimating the dangers our knights face every day. Ah, but you were eager to locate your airship. It may surprise you that by saving him, you have already aided your own cause. House Durandar is quick to regard outsiders with suspicion, as it is their duty to sound the alarm at the first sign of Draconian aggression. Yet you have already aided them twice, for which they are honor-bound to repay you. Even so, they will not grant you access to the Observatorium's record. That is just as well, for there are other ways you might locate your missing airship. What I propose is that you petition Lord Portaline for an official introduction to the other high houses. The word of House Durandar carries tremendous weight in Ishgard. Should the captain consent, you would have little trouble obtaining information from the other high houses. You've caused quite a stir in your short time here. First you slay 2 heretics and save a knight. Now I hear you rescued a man of our house. I imagine you must desire something for your troubles. An introduction to the other high houses. I cannot deny that you have given us no cause to distrust you, but while you have performed 2 acts, you would have me endorse you to 3 high houses. It is only fitting that you aid us one final time, wouldn't you agree? Lord Portaline requires that you perform a 3rd task on the behalf of House of Durandar. Now, I understand you are very eager to find your missing airship. Worry not, for this task should take a man of your skills but a moment to complete. Not long ago, a porter bound for Skyfire Locks was ambushed on the road due west of here. Though he escaped with his life, he would very much like his wares as well. On the off chance any portion of this shipment remains, I would have you travel to the scene of the robbery and bring back what you find. Lest you intend to perform only a cursory search, bear in mind that recovering the stolen merchandise will endear you to House Hallionart, further improving your chances that they indulge your request for aid. Ooh. Or at the very least attempted stolen. And very likely unsteal them. Got it. Alright. Have you good tidings to share? Or better yet, stolen merchandise to show? Where are those all different items? God's bless you, friend. It's all here. Every last... but wait. That chest over there looks like it might have been pillaged. Bloody hells, that's the personal property of Lord Fronsel, too. Are you certain? Clearly an attempt was made to open it. The lock appears to have held. Nevertheless, if you wish to verify the contents against your shipping manifest, be my guest. Fury take me, a draconian rosary, in the possession of Lord Fronsel? Yet, perhaps this is not so difficult to fathom. House Hallionard is whispered to be infested with heretics. Thank you for bringing this matter to my attention, sir. I shall inform the Inquisitors immediately. Under the circumstances, I must strongly advise against associating with House Hallionard. Your other introductions will need to be postponed as well. It is the duty of every Ishgardian to root out and destroy heretics. All else must wait until this matter is resolved. Sir Carolo has something very important to tell you. Come closer, lad, and listen well. This is for your ears only. Lord Fronsel is no heretic. He is a goodly, righteous man, wholly dedicated to the cause. I know this because I served House Hallionart for years prior to the calamity. You must go to Skyfire Locks and warn him of the coming storm. The Inquisitors are ruthless, and they will spare him no mercy. Speak to him of an Edelweiss, and he will know you for a friend. Now go. Yes, you look as though you have something to say. Do you? Is that an Edelweiss in your pocket? Are you just happy to see me? I see Sir Carlo has not forgotten my mother's favorite flower. A pity it has not been seen in Coertha since the calamity. You may speak freely here, friend. That's absurd! I would sooner die than become the thrall of the dragons. Alas, it matters little what I say at this point. Although the draconian rosary was not found in my possession, it will still be considered by many to be proof of my heresy. I must do my utmost to prove my innocence to the Inquisitors, for if they harbor even the slightest doubt, this will only add weight to the incessant accusations our house has suffered of late. It is as though the gods themselves are plotting our fall. You risk much by coming here. It is only proper that I recompense you for this deed. Tell me what you desire, and I shall do my best to provide. A missing airship? I see. It may require prolonged effort to locate your quarry. I shall direct you to one in a better position to assist you. Lord Horsefont of House Fortemps commands the garrison at Camp Dragonhead. Present to him this letter of introduction, and he will surely be receptive to your needs. As much. Ah, the unmistakable swagger of a well-traveled adventurer. If you are come to pay your respects, be at ease, friend. I am not one to stand on formality. Truth be told, I would gladly welcome many and more brave souls like yourself. But enough chatter. Pray tell me why you have come. If there's any justice in this world, these charges will receive no serious consideration. It is beyond inconceivable. Ah, yes, the letter made mention of a pressing matter for which you required assistance. What might that be? So this enterprise you speak of was last seen above Coerthas before the calamity 5 years ago. I fear it may prove difficult to find any eyewitnesses to these events, for while Ishgard did not participate in the Battle of Cartano, we were embroiled in our own internal conflicts at the time. Nevertheless, I will make inquiries on your behalf and share with you my findings in the future. In the meantime, please enjoy the hospitality of Camp Dragonhead. I will see to it that you are afforded every courtesy as a guest of House Fortemps. What a winning personality. Lord Horsefort has a proposal for how you might participate in his investigation. As you have doubtless realized by now, the High Houses of Ishgard, House Fortemps included, are either unable or unwilling to offer formal assistance in your search. However, that does not mean there are not influential individuals within each house who are sympathetic to your cause. I shall be sending missives to the various representatives in Ishgard, though I suspect it would be quicker and more efficient if you were to make the inquiries of your own. Lady Neen of my known House Fortemps, who resides here in Camp Dragonhead, rather enjoys the company of travelers. There's also Cravelin of House Hollionart, who can be found at Skyfire Locks, though any information you pry from the scribe may prove difficult to parse. Have you spoken with the Chief Astrologian of House Durandar yet? Really? Perhaps he will be more accommodating once I inform him that you are a friend of House Fortemps. Do not concern yourself with House Zemael. I shall contact them myself. Seek the counsel of the three I mentioned, and return to me when finished. Why, hello, good sir. What's that? An airship, you say? I hate to disappoint you, but I know nothing of what you seek. Likely no one of House Fortemps does, for if they did, I would definitely know it as well. The topic on everyone's lips these days is what will become of young Lord Francel. Some say the allegations are long overdue, given how many members of House Hollionart have been found guilty of heresy in the recent days. Alone grant me strength. There must be some way to... Oh, who are you? A friend of Lord Hochefort? I want to help you. I truly do, but these accusations of heresy have thrown House Hollionart into chaos. Right now, we must focus on combating these charges and preserving our reputation. I gather you have been busy since we last spoke. Lord Hochefort's message was positively glowing. I've been him for like 5 minutes and he's like, yeah, I know you're a good guy, I get you. But if you think that his endorsement is cause for me to disregard Ishgardian policies, then you are sorely mistaken. We are at war, sir, and the enemy grows bolder by the day. Why, in the short time since Inquisitor Guillaume arrived in Coerthas, countless heretics have been discovered, even amongst the elite of Ishgardian society. If Lord Haurchefant wishes to waste his days chasing after a long-lost airship, then that is his choice. But if he expects others to share in his folly, then he is truly blind to the present state of affairs. We got no info, boss. You get anything? By your countenance, I take it you did not learn anything of use. Nor did I fear. It seems the whole of Coerthas is consumed by the stock of heretics in the high houses. We can only hope that my sources in Ishgard provide more pertinent information. Lord Haurchefant is concerned for Lord Francel's well-being. I had another personal request to make of you. It concerns Lord Francel, of whom much has been whispered in recent days. I have received a report that he and 3 knights were seen heading north towards the Steel Vigil. That outpost was long overrun by the Dravanian horde, so I am not certain what he intends to accomplish with such a small force. Whatever his motives, I fear for his safety. Pray journey to the Steel Vigil and see if Lord Francel's party requires any assistance. Where's Lord Francel? Please, you must find him. He's somewhere around here, then. There he is! Who goes there? Yours? No, stay back. The fiend is still here. Alone be praised, you did it. What of the others, the 3 knights who accompanied me? Where are they? He seems like a good dude. I like Francel, too. Confound it all! How are we to redeem House Halignart if we cannot even slay a single Avis? We are fortunate you came along when you did, sir. House Halignart will remember your kindness. I heard the beast's cries from over yonder. Then Lord Francel is safe. Bless you, sir. Bless you. Curse those fiends. It's as though they knew we were coming. Like, he wouldn't take help until we got those knights. What a leader. It was a foolish thing to do, I know, but I had hoped we might demonstrate our devotion by slaying a number of their scalekin. Moreover, it was House Halignart that yielded the Steel Vigil to the Horde many years ago. One might say that our defeat here heralded the slow decline of our house's once great name. We have been brought even lower by these despicable accusations of heresy, and despite my best efforts, I have done naught to improve the situation. The day of my trial approaches. Soon I must accept the judgment of the Inquisitors, whatever it may be. But even should my protestations fall on deaf ears, I will proclaim my innocence to my dying breath. What did you find at the Steel Vigil? Ah, I see. A reckless plan, but at least it did not cost him and his knights their lives. I have news for you as well. A witness to the final flight of the Enterprise has been found. Alas, there is a complication. It has become common knowledge that you paid a visit to Lord Francel and Skyfire Locks not long ago. Upon learning of this, the witness became understandably reticent to make your acquaintance for fear of being seen in the company of a man who might be later declared a heretic. A not unreasonable fear given the zeal in which Inquisitor Guillaume has conducted this investigation. In any case, if we wish to obtain his testimony, we must first clear Lord Francel's name, and by association yours. Lord Haurchefant suspects that someone is conspiring against Lord Francel, being ambushed by the thing you're trying to ambush, and being accused of working with them. I don't know, that doesn't sound that fishy to me. As I see it, the key to proving Lord Francel's innocence is discrediting the evidence against him. I speak of the draconian rosary found in the chest you yourself recovered. If you would, please tell me of the incident in question. So it was found in a locked chest labeled as the property of Lord Fronsel. If the rosary was not his, then someone else with access must have planted it. Here is what you must do. Return to Skyfire Locks and speak with Rickman. He works closely with the porters who ferry goods across Coerthus, so he may have some inkling of who could be responsible. Someone tampering with shipments? Fury strike me down if all them rosaries found in people's possessions were planted. Hey now, don't you give me that look, lad. I'm House Hollyanard man through and through. This heresy nonsense is bad for me and my family, too. I ain't saying the porters what were bringing the shipment in did it, though. I know most of them what work in the trade routes, and I've never had cause to question their faith. But if it wasn't them neither, then your guess is as good as mine. After all, most every shipment is thoroughly inspected before it... Huh? Could it have been the fellows what were responsible for the inspections? Ha! Ishgardian Knights and Inquisitors, the lot of them. As if they'd ever turn their cloaks. Reckon that means the porters are your most likely suspects. Hate to think it, but maybe you should question them. There's a crew coming to Camp Dragonhead from Whitebrim front this morning. You might consider having a word with them. Beg your pardon, you suspect that we porters have been planting draconian rosaries in House Hollyanard's shipments? What nerve! You truly believe such nonsense? Search our parcels and see what you find. House Hollyanard parcel. You find a draconian rosary hidden inside the parcel. No time to talk, we're on a tight schedule. Once we've made our deliveries here, we're to deliver parcels to Skyfire Locks. Are we finished? If so, I would appreciate an apology. But that's impossible. Once the night at Whiteburn Front concluded her inspection, I loaded the parcels into the wagon myself. And if I had been the culprit, I would have never allowed you to search my shipments. Say what you will to Lord Harshaphon, I will not be held accountable for this. Did something happen outside? I thought I heard shouting. But more importantly, what did Rickman have to say? More draconian rosaries in every single parcel bound for Skyfire Locks. That beggars belief. Even the Inquisitors must acknowledge that this is no more than a crass attempt to sully House Hollyanard's reputation. Whoever is responsible has overplayed his hand. And praise alone that he did. Lord Fronsel's trial is upon us, and we must act now if we are to clear his name. Here we go, in the eyes of gods and men. Lord Harshaphon needs your help to clear Lord Fronsel's name. From the very first, I knew it could not be that so many members of House Hollyanard were heretics. At last we can give the lie to these poisonous allegations and put an end to this travesty. I will need to prepare a formal statement regarding these developments for the Holy See. In the meantime, I would have you bear my words to Inquisitor Brigi. Tell her that House Fourtemps asks, nay, demand that Lord Fronsel's trial be postponed until a full investigation has been conducted. What is it, my child? Lord Harshaphon would have the Inquisitors do what? But that is not possible. Inquisitor Guillaume presides over Lord Fronsel's trial at Witchdrop even as we speak. Fear not, if Lord Fronsel is indeed innocent, he shall walk in Halone's halls with the fallen heroes of Ishgard. If he's truly innocent, it's okay if he dies, he's going to heaven! Wow. They have taken Lord Fronsel to Witchdrop? This is madness! The Inquisitor does not have sufficient grounds to subject him to that manner of trial. I will not stand idly by and allow an innocent man to die. Yours, I would dispatch you and one of my knights to Witchdrop to forestall the proceedings, until such time as I am able to join you and petition Inquisitor Guillaume in person. I will endeavor not to keep you waiting too long. Do whatever you must to keep Lord Fronsel alive. Joaquin Charlemagne Francel de Hollyanard, you stand accused of heresy against the Holy See of Ishgard. Is there aught you wish to say in your defense? Hear me, brothers, these charges are false. The men and women of my line have ever opposed the Dravonians, and I am no different. Since the very birth of our nation, we have gladly shed blood in service to the Holy See. Condemn me, and you will strike a blow for the enemies of Ishgard. It is for Halone to judge, if you speak the truth. Prove your innocence in the eyes of God and men. Leap from the cliff and entrust your fate to the Fury. That's not a trial! The righteous shall take their place in Halone's halls, while the wicked shall reveal their drunken forms and be put to the sword. What the fuck is this trial? In the name of House Fortemps, I beseech you. I missed it. Inquisitor, we are come on behalf of Lord Haurchefant. My lord has uncovered evidence which suggests that the charges against Lord Francel are without merit. We humbly request that these proceedings be suspended until such time as a full re-examination of the facts has been conducted. Lord Haurchefant has allowed his personal relationship with the accused to cloud his judgment. That he should harbor private doubts, I might have allowed, but he would dare interfere in legal proceedings sanctioned by the Holy See, I cannot. To defy the will of an inquisitor is to commit heresy, a crime for which there is only one punishment. We must hold them until Lord Haurchefant arrives, viewers, and remember, no harm can come to the Inquisitor. Wait, am I not allowed to attack him? Or am I not allowed to kill him? Wow, what a waste of two of those. What's the old saying? It's not a JRPG unless you kill God at the end. I think the Wyvern might have overplayed their hand too. So you actually can't kill the worm. You can't do any damage to him, it looks like. That's lame. This guy straight up runs away. Alderic drops a draconian rosary. Well then, the Inquisitor's top bodyguard. It is not our intention to defy the will of the Archbishop, but this trial, like many others I fear, has been orchestrated by enemies of House Hollionart. They have used you and your fellows to sow discord, Inquisitor, to set brother against brother, that we may tear ourselves apart. The fevered imaginings of a desperate man, what proof have you of this? Your boy dropped this. By the Fury, a draconian rosary. The knight who refused to yield, it was he who summoned the Wyvern. Ah, shit. Heretic in the ranks of the Temple Knights, this has grave implications. Your claims would appear to have merit, Lord Haurchefant. I shall withdraw my charges against Lord Francel, pending further investigation. I trust you have not lost sight of what first brought you to Coerthas, viewers. Pray locate your airship and use it. Did he just, like, we just kept him from murdering one of his people, and then he's like, well, you know what? Go, get out of here. Lord Haurchefant, I have not the words to express my gratitude, but why would you risk your reputation to save mine? Because I know you, boy. You're too loyal to betray Ishgard and too devout to question your sentence. Had we been any slower, you'd have jumped of your own free will. I would have done whatever it took to redeem House Hollynar. Praise alone, it didn't come to that, but it profits us little to dwell on what might have been. Let us quit this place of yours. Pray visit me at Camp Dragonhead once you have recuperated. You look well, viewers. May I say what a pleasure it was to fight alongside such a fearless and skillful warrior. Were not for you, Lord Frostle would have surely died defending the honor of his house, and I might well have perished at the hands of a heretic and his wyvern. House Fortemps and House Hollynar shall never forget your service. Now let us return to the matter of your missing enterprise. Thanks for watching. Currently I'm streaming this New Game Plus run on Twitch Tuesdays at 11 AM Pacific Time, and I upload by the end of the week. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, or check me out on Twitch. Link is in the description.